Hey everybody, if you're running a carbon dioxide removal company, if you're working at one of those companies, if you're working on how your company can buy carbon dioxide removal credits, if you're working on policy for carbon dioxide removal, or in some way thinking about carbon dioxide removal day in, day out, then you've probably heard that there are some people that are working on some strange things to get carbon dioxide removal back on track. And I want to encourage you to try your own strange, weird things. There's something you've been thinking about over the last 6 months. You know, it pops up when you're eating lunch. It pops up when you're out on a walk. You're like, maybe we should try this thing, ... but it's a terrible idea. And I want you to encourage, just go for it. And going for it can mean having a conversation with somebody about it. It can mean writing out what that idea is. And hey, maybe it makes it out to your website. Maybe it leads to a complete pivot in what you're building and how you're engineering it and how you're going about it. But the time right now is really ideal for trying out these kind of weird ideas. You might have heard things like, we're going to redo all of our engineering so that we have a different approach to how to remove the carbon dioxide. We're actually going to be taking a software-heavy approach rather than a hardware approach. I've heard people saying, hey, we're going to do video updates for our customers. We're going to try and get really connected to what our customers are doing. Or we're going to try and give them updates about actually all this detailed engineering or detailed kind of insider information, but we're going to share more of that. I've heard people try out, look, hey, we've tried selling directly to a customer, but this customer already has a whole portfolio. And so instead, we're going to talk with them about that portfolio and see if we can position what we're doing as part of that portfolio rather than its own thing. Now, I've heard some of these things working. I've heard some of these things not working. But trying these unusual, weird, strange things that you keep thinking about. When we look back on carbon dioxide removal at scale, we're going to look for the people that figured out how to take carbon dioxide removal to the next level. And they would have been iterating on these strange ideas, these things that maybe didn't totally make sense today. And they might have been little iterative things over and over and over again, or it might be some weird idea that completely changes the whole game. So figure out how you can unlock your own strange ideas. Maybe you heard some that I said here today, and you can try those too. I'd love to hear back from you. And maybe you've got your own thing that you've been thinking about for the last 6 months. Hey, maybe you've got something you've been thinking about for the last year, 2 years. That thing is good, deserves to be, at the very least, written out. Talk with your co-founder, your colleague about it. Talk with somebody, one of your advisors, somebody that follows what you're doing in whatever piece of the carbon dioxide removal puzzle you're playing in. And I really look forward to hearing about the things that work, the things that don't work, and let's figure out how to scale carbon dioxide removal.